So a standard hook is where you really stand a little bit wider, a little bit longer, yeah, and you pivot and you hook. Bam, okay, so that's like a standard hook, hit the person in the head. But the problem with a standard hook is you're still in front of the person. If they hook, snap back and come back. If they hit me in the head, cover and fire back. If they cover and fire with the opposite hand. So those are the three things, or they might roll underneath. So the check hook is designed to take you offline as you throw the hook, so you're not in front of the person for any follow-ups. So when you're doing a check hook, what's going to happen is as you start to throw that lead hook and start to pivot on your lead foot as you hook, your rear leg is going to swing behind you as you do it. Now, you don't want to over pivot because it takes away your opportunities to follow up if you don't knock them out. So over pivoting would be if my foot was on 12, my lead foot was on 12, and I pivot, you know, past 9 p.m. here, that's over pivoting. If I get to 10 or 11, I can't really use this hand anymore because it's gone out of position. So you really want to just pivot to the 45-degree backwards if you can. Maybe 45 degrees to just before 90, but definitely not past 90. In any case, Mayweather didn't need that. Hatton just fell on the floor and was unconscious, and that was that. So, for example, what we could do to set this drill up is go a little bit longer each time. Tommy can throw the jab. If he can throw the jab, make sure you don't flap your elbow when you jab. I'm always telling my students all that. So maybe if I'm getting pecks with this, I start to get a bit aggressive and start to move forwards. What I'm going to do is as I move forward, I'm going to place this pad up and make sure my head's out of the way. So I don't put it against my head, I kind of place it here. And all Tommy's going to do is time it so that he can land that check hook, bang, and that's all it took. Nice shot to the jaw, nice shot to the temple. I think Ricky was going to the body at the same time, so obviously this hand was not up. His right hand was kind of coming down to go for a shot, his head was up, and then he just got caught on that side of his head. So so the way to train this drill with your students and teach them when to do a check hook is when someone is aggressively moving forward without their guard up. You know, they're not really throwing much back, or they've just moved into distance without throwing any technique. Tommy's going to go with the jab. And again, I'm going to move forward, check hook, yeah, perfect. And that's the effect you'll get, you'll knock them offline. If you don't knock them out, you'll knock them offline and then the cross is there. Now, if you over pivot, so go really massive with it, even more, some more behind, yeah, you haven't got that rear hand because you're just out of position, your feet are not right. You might throw something, but it's not going to have the same power. So you've got to be, when you're training your students on the check hook, it's got to be like 45, so maybe, you know, a little bit more, 70, 80 degrees, definitely not past 90, doesn't work so well. There's no follow-up available. So in the beginning, get your student to throw 2 jabs, move towards them, check hook, perfect. After a while, more experienced students, Tommy's just going to be throwing his jab, and then when I want at a random point, I'll move in and then he can check hook. Almost got him. He thought he'd get a few good. So then he's got to react quick, he's got to be ready for it. Nice, and he's off position. And once they've got that, then you can add in the cross afterwards to make sure that they're in a position where they can throw that cross. So we'll just do 2 jabs in a moment. Check hook, cross. Good. Don't hold that near your face, you're going to eat it. So I'm using the left pad for both here because it just makes life easier than trying to get the other pad up. So, I'm in my stance, we're at long range. Tommy's using his jab and he's peppering me with his jab. Nice. Now, people who can't get past the jab maybe want to follow it back and move in. Or maybe they'll eat a few jabs, bonk, to move in. Or maybe they'll try and snap back and then come in. So, all of these, getting off to the side is always a good idea. In boxing, getting an angle is one of the best strategies you can have, because you're only fighting half your opponent's body. You put them in a weaker position to receive punches and using their blind spots. So angle to the left, angle to the right, all the best boxers of all time are good at cutting angles, and a check hook is a very good way of doing that. So jab, jab, nice step in, cross. Yeah, you've got to make sure that they can throw the cross without having to reset their feet. If they go check hook and then step, cross, too slow, you're not going to have time, the person's already going to move. So it needs to be efficient. Straight to the check hook, straight to the cross. One jab, step. Yeah. So that's Mayweather versus Hatton. Once again, a lot of these seem to be Brits losing. I do apologise for our British fans, but what I'm focusing on with these videos is the fights that I've watched. I've either watched them live or I've watched them on TV live, and they're the fights that got me really excited, or the fights that left me really sad. So this is one of them that left me really sad. Check hook from Mayweather.